because you know your boy ain't sponsored by anybody.
For E85, I'm not even gonna risk it. I have another fuel tank.
So much smoke.
What's going on, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Be putting the Sc300 battery in the trunk. The reason why I am putting my battery in the trunk is just mainly for space. Literally with almost every Sc300 and every Supra owner does it for, just for space. They have a cleaner engine bay. I'm gonna just show you guys the things I'm using. As always, I'm gonna drop the link down in the description. So it is a bunch of other videos out with a lot of people doing this in their Supras and their SCs. This is just my input and the way I'm actually going to do it. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm literally just trying to make this process as easy as I can make it, so I can keep hitting the rest of these parts on my car, so that way we can get the car up and running again. All right, guys. So this is all the stuff we'll be installing and using. This is 0 gauge AWG wire. I have this actually on the car right now, but the stuff that's on the car, since I'm relocating the battery to the truck, I can't use it anymore because it's just too short. So I just went ahead and bought brand new AWG wire. I got this off Amazon for like 80 bucks. I had that on the car for over 2 years, no problem at all. So I can recommend this to you guys. So you guys will be good with that. I do have a fuse. I will route an inline fuse in here. This is a 250 watt amp fuse. This is just in case anything surges. It won't fry anything. It'll actually break the circuit. It'll actually break the fuse or whatnot. And all my electronics and stuff in the car will be safe. I don't think I would have to really run this, but I mean, insurance purposes, bro. Like, this was only like $10, and this will save me $2,000, just to say that. It might not be $2,000 to repair some stuff, but who knows? With this installed, we don't got to worry about that at all. This is the actual battery holder, billet bracket off of this billet battery hold down from off of Amazon. It was like 50 bucks. It fits my battery perfect. It's actually made for the battery that I'm running, which is an Optimum red top battery. As far as installing a battery in your trunk, yes, you want to have it securely bolted down and secure and protected. So I would recommend you get a battery box, but this should do the job in my case because I don't have anything in my trunk. If you don't have anything in your trunk, yes, you can run this, but if you carry things in your trunk like backpacks or luggage or anything, I would recommend you not use this at all and get a battery box that covers your battery completely. All right. This is a junction box. So what this does, which you can already tell, when you buy it, it comes with a red one and a black one. This is the black one, negative. Red is for positive, as you already know. So what happens is you plug the main power source into one of these, and then you branch the rest of your power sources or ground sources off this. So this way you won't have a bunch of wires and kooky looking crazy stuff coming off your battery. This right here is pretty much like a rivet tool. I got this. I'm not 100% sure if I'm even going to use this on the install or not, but if I do, I'll show you guys where I'm actually going to use it at. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use it or not. Got a couple wire lugs, so this way, you know, we crimp these onto the battery cables. Heat shrink just so everything looks pretty. I would take these and cover the ends of these up. And I got these wire hold downs, fuel line hold downs, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna use these or not. So we're gonna run out here. We're gonna run out here, get this party started. Sorry guys, I left a very important part out. The way I'm gonna actually crimp those wires onto the battery terminals, this tool right here. This right here will save you a lot of time and a lot of extra effort. It adjusts to different size wire gauges. And when I say this right here is king, this is king. It takes me no time to crimp wires together. As far as cutting them, you kind of on your own with cutting them. I usually use like a cutoff wheel to cut it because it's very hard to cut these wires, and you want a clean cut when you do cut it. So my advice is get yourself a cutoff wheel if you can. If not, I mean, get yourself some wire snips. Wire snips do work. I used wire snips in the past, but my wire snips that I have now are pretty much dull. They're not gonna work. It's gonna just trash the wire altogether. So I'm not gonna use that. All right, so we got the trunk stripped down. Like I said, I do have an amplifier in here. It's just sitting in here. That was a quick install with this one because I put the old one, the nicer one, in the GS. So don't worry about that. So you can do it. I can do it anyway. It would be more smarter to do it this way, so that way I don't use as much line. But I figure since this already has a cutout here, I want to put it on the passenger side. So if I do have to cut away with this, it's already, it's already like a gaping hole there. So we're actually going to install the battery on this side. All right, so we got the battery box bolted down. It's secure. So what's going to happen is we're going to finish this all up today. I am going to have to pull the bracket out, cover this hole because that is where this actual vent goes. So what happens is this sits down here. I think it's this way. It's this way. This sits down here, and this is the actual drain from your sunroof, and this is the drain from your gas tank. That runs through this. And now it's just a gaping hole since I removed it. So what I'll do is I got some ABS. I'll make a plate there, drill some holes for both my hoses to go through. And what I actually do is I'm gonna coat all of this with high temp spray paint, so that way none of this exposed metal will be showing. Once I figure out how I'm gonna actually mount my ground most likely will be mounted probably right here or right here somewhere. These bolts go through and through, so it's a nut on the other side of these two bolts, so it's pretty snug. I don't have anything right here, but I'm not worried about that, just because once the battery's in and bolted down, this should not go anywhere in theory, especially when I get the other bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead keep trucking. We about to run the actual the power wire from the rear to the front, and we can take it from there. So if you see right there, see if I can zoom in. Sorry about the shoddy wiring work. If you see right there, that hole, that's where we're gonna actually run the power. That's my amp, my power wire for my amp right here. So like I said, as I go along and feed the new wire through and fish it through, I'll pull this out as I go. All this wiring is going to get cleaned up. I am going to take a day out and literally clean all this up. We do have to pull the fuel tank out because we're going to run E85, and I don't think that patch is going to hold for E85. I'm not even going to risk it. I have another fuel tank. So in other news, let's get this thing finished because it's cold out here. My fingers are starting to hurt already. All right, guys, so I have it all routed, and everything is pretty much plugged in. Don't mind the rat's nuts. That's actually like my fans and everything, all the wiring, so don't mind this. So this is the actual 0 gauge coming from the trunk. This is for the fuse box. This is, I think that goes to the fans. The fans power to the relay. This one right here goes to the starter. So this one goes directly to the starter. This one you see tucked off right here is my actual ground to the block. So I'm pretty sure all this should function and act properly. I know you see the big red gauge, but I'm actually going to cover this up with some of my mesh that I use, this type of mesh, so it'll look real neat and clean. But for right now, it's just going to sit like that until I get to that point. So what you do, just stick the cover on it, So take it, slide the cover over it. It's good to go, man. So I just tighten this up, snug it hand tight. I will go back over it with a ratchet once I'm done everything in the trunk, and I'll make sure everything is how I want it to be. But like I said, I will cover this up with this. I might cover this one up too, just so it looks real clean. So it comes from here, from the distributor block, power distributor block, that's what we're gonna call it, and down through here, down through the footwell. It's like a rubber right here that leads into the car, and you have it coming into here. So I do gotta go up there and pull the slack out of it, but as you see, you just take it, and like I said, it's more than enough space down here. So what I do, I just tuck all this down back behind the carpet, run it all the way under, and then I got my rear seat delete peeled back some, so I don't know if you can see the hole right there, and it just feeds it into the trunk. So since everything inside the engine bay is done, I'm gonna go ahead and run this line, and I'll meet you guys in the trunk for the finale. All right, guys, so the installation is so much smoke. The installation on the battery location job is almost complete. I literally have to go out here, plug the battery up. I'm not gonna leave my battery in the car. I'm just, just for mock-up purposes, make sure everything fit, and it looks kind of decent. As far as having a really clean look, that's not gonna happen, just because if you see, it's too cold out here to be trying to spray paint and sand stuff down and make things look pretty. It's just too cold. So what I'm gonna do, literally just relocating the battery. I'm not even gonna put my trunk lining or anything back in. I'm gonna leave it raw just how it is, and we should be good to go. So I did run into a slight problem with the actual battery bracket. Just a slight problem. I'll give you guys a look, see why I'm in the shed. All right, so these actually slide over top the bolts that hold the battery down, and I'll show you when we go out here. I literally just had to cut like a hair off of it, just because when I slid them on, put the bracket on and tried to tighten the battery did slide around a bit, and it can't slide around at all, and we can't have the battery sliding around at all, mainly for track purposes and just drivability wise. That's not a good thing at all for your battery, just be sliding around, bouncing all over the place. And we dropped these in. I got them pretty good. If you're asking why I didn't grind it down and make it smoother, I'm actually gonna sit these down on top there. You won't see it at all. I mean, you guys know it's there, but everybody else won't know if they didn't see the video. All right, so like I said, I had a battery in, got the ground strap in. I sanded it down real good, chipped away as much paint as I could. It's really silver underneath of this huge washer, and then I do have the power wire right here. We still do have to probably cut this down a little bit more, I'm not sure, but so these actually slide over. It gives it a really good look. So they slide over it like this, like that, and the bracket is crazy tight. And then this, I don't know if I want to do it like that way or like this. I'll probably just do it like this, because your boy ain't sponsored by anybody, so I'm not gonna rock it with their name shown. I'm gonna flip it upside down just to be that guy. If they gave a deal or showed me some love on this bracket, I definitely would show it, but they didn't. So the logo's face down. So I know for a fact once I tighten this up, we should be good to go. Just because it was, as you see, it was like a hair or two I had to shave off. I could have grinded it, but I felt as though cutting it just would have been the simplest way to do it. So yeah, it's tight. It's really tight now. Look at that. You see the whole car's moving. So what we're gonna do is run a negative directly to it. Bow. I don't have anything else to run to my negative side, my positive. Once I put the trunk line in, you won't see any of this stuff. I did try to clean some of my wiring up. That's my fuel pump relay. Gonna go over the wires and clean that all up too, but probably not today. I got a bunch of other stuff, more important pressing issues to handle. So I probably would run this way and have it come from the back. Something like that. How that look, y'all? Something like that. Don't mind all the scuffs. This looks horrible. So something like this. Pretty much something like that. So, all right, guys, and there you have it. All right, so don't mind that this isn't plugged up. Like I said, I am going to take the battery out. This is just for fitment. Make sure everything goes as it should and fits. As far as this, you already know this sits on here. This actually covers it, so if anything hits the positive, it'll just hit the plastic cover. This definitely works. The negative, anything hits that, it might spark, but as you see, I have to change this. So I'm going to order another set of these and just bolt that on there. Take this off and, you know, get a new one on there. All right, so we had a positive. This is for my fuel pump relay, which usually sits over here. Once I put the relay in and I'm ready to start the car, that's when I straighten that part up. But like I said, you won't see any of this once I put the trunk liner in. So the positive 0 gauge goes to breaker fuse. It's 250 amps. That's just in case anything happens as far as a surge or anything. It'll break the fuse instead of messing up my battery or my electronics in the car. And we have it ran through. Let's see if I can zoom in. That hole right there. And it's a real quick and easy installation in a way. Runs underneath my carpet. I left all that open because I still gotta wire my boost gauge and stuff again. I think this came loose again, so yeah. Then shoots out that rubber boot down under the fender, comes out here, and I have it bolted down. Then goes down to the junction box where it branches off to my starter, my fuse box, starter, fuse box, and to my fan relay. So should be good to go from there. So it's a clean look now. You'll just see this one wire, but I mean, can't tuck every single wire. I mean, it is what it is. For right now, it's definitely decent. I'm happy with it. Super duper fast install. The battery bracket is billet, like I said, so this is me for beating, even though I'm not trying to be beating on my battery. And yeah, it looks nice once I paint the trunk. So yeah, so just one more. That's on it. Definitely on it. Definitely on it. The whole car shakes. So as always, I definitely put the link in the description for the parts. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to put my harness in and some more stuff. And I'll pretty much just catch you guys on the next video.